Hello guys, as always coming to the usual cross-legged seated position, spine straight, no compression on the abdomen. We're going to take our couple of rounds of deep breath here, letting go of whatever worries and stress we've carried with us to the mat, connecting with the full length of our inhale, taking a beat and recognizing that space between the breaths. And then seeing if you can pay attention to your exhale right from the moment it starts until the lungs are empty. Breathing deeply into the belly, not stopping at the chest, connecting with the breath and relaxing the body on every exhalation, letting those shoulders drop away from the ears, paying attention to any points of tension in your body, and deeply exhaling through. And if you want to set an intention for your practice today, bringing your hands to heart center, taking an internal focus and bringing to the front of your mind whatever it is you need for yourself or your body from your practice today. Now bring your hands back down to our lap. We're going to do some side stretching. Reaching that left hand out, we're going to bring that right hand up and over, gaze towards the sky. You can walk that left hand out further if it feels like you can get deeper into that side stretch. Really feeling into the opening in the right hand side of the body. We're going to change sides now, dropping down the right hand and lifting the left, gaze lifted. Again, walking that right hand out to really feel into the opening of the left hand side of the body, pushing through those left hips and really opening up. One more side stretch now on each side, walking that left hand out again, right hand stretching over the body, really stretching through that right hand side, opening up. And to the opposite side, right hand goes down now, left hand up and over, stretching through the left side of the body, gaze upwards. Coming back to neutral, we're going to take away any bolsters or blocks or cushions we've been sitting on and come to tabletop. That is shoulders above wrists and hips above knees. We're going to work out our wrists here, just moving slowly forward and back, moving the weight over our hips, over our wrists here. Tucking that right hand under now, we're just going to stretch out the wrists on the right hand side. And now on the left, just tucking that left hand under. Now changing the direction of the hands, turning them towards the body, we're going to come back to that flow of movement in and out, just stretching out through the wrists. You'll feel it more this time when you come backwards into the stretch. Keeping the wrists glued to the mat, the full palm of the hand glued to the mat the whole time. Coming back to a neutral spine now, we're going to take some cat-cow. So inhaling we arch, exhaling we round, moving as you feel you need to, just connecting with the breath. Exhaling we round through the back, pushing up through the shoulders. Inhaling we drop, arch, neck back, look back. Exhaling we round again, pushing up through those shoulders. And inhaling we arch the back, neck back, look back. Exhaling we round, and going back to a neutral spine, we're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, hold for a beat, and then push back into downward facing dog. The first one of the practice, so as always, it's just to loosen up and warm up. pushing through the palms, spreading the fingers for full support and pedaling through those feet, moving the hips and moving the body as you feel like you need to. Gaze always towards the navel and always pushing those sit bones up towards the ceiling. Finding a stillness here now for a beat, taking a breath and slowly walking the feet forward to meet the hands. Staying in that forward fold, we're going to let gravity do its thing here now, grabbing onto each elbow. Just again, warming up the body, moving as you feel like you need to, swaying side to side, no tension in the neck, no tension in the jaw, tongue away from the roof of the mouth, just fully hanging here. Dropping those hands back down to the mat. We're going to inhale, take a half lift, exhale, forward fold, and finally inhale all the way up, reach up, look up, exhale, hands down to heart center. We're going to take a beat here, hands by our sides, just feeling into the body to see how we feel after that first bit of movement and before we move into our sun salutations. Inhaling, hands up, look up. And exhaling, we forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right leg back, left leg back, chaturanga. Thighs stay lifted. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, we step that right leg forward, followed by the left, and exhale, we forward fold. Inhaling, hands up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left leg back, right leg back, chaturanga. Inhale, thighs lifted, upward facing dog, shoulders back. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling the left leg forward, followed by the right. And we exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, hands up, look up. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, right leg back, left leg back, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling that right leg forward, followed by the left leg. And we exhale into our forward fold. Inhaling, arms up, look up, and exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, left leg back, right leg back, chaturanga, strong through the arms. Inhaling, untuck the toes, upward facing dog. And exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, we bring that left leg forward, followed by the right leg. And exhaling, we forward fold. Inhaling, hands up. And exhaling, hands to heart center. You can bring your hands down to your side here now, taking another beat just to breathe and see how we feel before we move into our standing postures. Flowing through another sun salutation, we inhale, look up, hands up. Exhale, we forward fold. Inhale, we take a half lift, and exhale, we step back with the right leg, left leg, and down into chaturanga. Inhaling, untuck the toes, upward facing dog. And exhaling, we push back into downward facing dog, just taking a steadying breath here. Inhaling, we bring that right leg up to the sky. And exhaling, we drop it down between the hands, finding power in the legs to come into high lunge. Hands and arms are behind the shoulders. Bringing that left leg up into the body now, hugging the knee. We're going to bring our left toes into the fingers of our left hand and stretch that leg out as best we can. It's okay if it doesn't go all the way straight, just try your best. Wrapping that left ankle onto the right knee, we're going to sit back again, hands behind the shoulders, finding power through that standing leg. Moving up out of that now without dropping the leg, we're bringing the leg back to the chest, toes back around, fingers back around the left toes and stretching that left leg out one more time. Now again, without dropping the leg, we're going to push it back, arms spread out in front of us for warrior 3, staying steady in this posture. Dropping that left leg back, hands on the back, we're going to arch the back, neck back, look back. And dropping the hands to the mat, we're going to straighten the legs into triangle, bringing the forehead to the knee as best you can. Walking the hands around to the center, you can spread the legs a little bit if that's more comfortable. We're going to come to a wide-legged forward fold. And continuing around to the left leg, you can adjust the legs here for triangle, bringing the forehead back to the knee. From here, we're going to step the legs together and inhaling, bring the hands up overhead, exhaling, hands to heart center. Inhaling, hands up, look up, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, take a half lift, and exhaling, stepping that left leg back, followed by the right, down through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog, and exhaling, downward facing dog. Inhaling, we're going to lift that left leg to the sky. And exhaling, we're going to place it down between our hands, strong through the legs now for lunge, high lunge. Bringing the arms back behind the shoulders, powerful through the legs. Pushing through that left leg, we're going to bring the right knee up to the chest and holding the toes with the right hand, we're going to try and kick that leg out straight. Again, it's okay if it's bent, just breathe here, do your best. Bringing that right ankle to the left knee now, we're going to sit back, arms out behind the shoulders, gaze is in front of you, not downwards, about a meter in front of your foot. Strong through that standing leg, using the breath here. Untangling and without dropping that leg, we're going to hold the toes again of the right foot with the right hand and try to stretch that right leg out in front of us. Strong through the standing leg, using our breath. And lastly, without dropping the leg, we're going to push that right leg back, arms go forward to counterbalance, strong through the core, in for warrior 3. Now with slow and controlled, drop that right leg back into lunge. Hands behind the back. We're going to arch and look back here, pushing into that lunge. Dropping the hands down to the mat now, we're going to lift the legs straight, make any adjustments you need to, and bringing your forehead to the knee here. Walking our hands around to the center, spreading the legs if you need to. We're going to come to a wide-legged forward fold. And finally walking around to the right leg here, making any adjustments you need, bringing the forehead to the right knee. Bringing the legs together, take a quick forward fold and then inhale, hands up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to flow through that sequence now again on both sides with a few small progressions. So just taking a couple of seconds here to breathe deeply, feeling into the body and just resetting before our next sequence. Inhale, hands up, look up, and exhale, we forward fold. Inhale, we take a half lift, and exhale, step back with the right leg, the left leg, and down through chaturanga. Untucking the toes, inhaling, upward facing dog, and exhaling into a strong downward facing dog, finding our stillness here. Inhaling, we bring that right leg to the sky, and exhaling, we drop it down between the hands, coming into our high lunge, strong through the legs, arms back behind the shoulders. Pushing through that right leg now, we bring the left knee up to the chest and we interlock the left fingers underneath the left toe, straightening out through that leg as best you can. Powerful through that right leg, the right standing leg. Without dropping the leg, we're going to come into eagle, so wrapping that left leg around the right, hooking the toes under the calf if you can, and wrapping the hands around each other, right hand under left. Really sitting back into this now, powerful through the core, using the breath. Eyes fixed on a point in front of you. Untangling the hands here and untangling the legs without dropping that foot. We're going to bring the left knee back up towards the chest and we're going to wrap the hands around the sole of the foot and kick the foot out in front of us. Now releasing that left arm, we're going to open it up to the back, gaze to the back of the room if possible, or just to the side. Balancing with our leg and our arm, we're going to bring our arms back to the foot, bring it back to the chest, and without dropping, our last posture now, stay with me, we're going to push back into warrior 3, using our arms and feet to equalize the weight. Dropping that left leg down slowly, we're going to come down to lunge, hands on the lower back, we're going to arch here. Dropping the hands to the mat, we're going to straighten the legs into a triangle, bringing the forehead to that right knee. Walking our hands slowly around to the center, you can widen the legs here, we're going to come to a wide-legged forward fold. And continuing around to the left hand side, making any adjustments you need to, legs straight, forehead to the left knee. Bringing our legs together into a brief forward fold. We're going to inhale, arms up to the sky, look up, stretch up, and exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands up, look up, and exhale, we forward fold. Inhale, we take a half lift, and exhale, step left leg back, right leg back, and down through chaturanga, strong through those arms. Inhaling, upward facing dog without dropping those thighs. Exhaling into downward facing dog, finding our stillness here. Inhaling, we lift that left leg to the sky, holding strong. And exhaling, we drop that leg down between the hands for a strong high lunge, pushing up through those legs, arms back behind the shoulders, chest lifted, breathing here. Pushing through that left leg, we bring the right knee into the chest and we wrap the fingers of the right hand around the right toes, pushing the foot out in front of us, straightening the leg as best we can, finding power through that standing left leg. Moving into eagle now, we wrap that right leg around the left, tucking the toes in behind the calves if possible, and we wrap the arms around each other, sitting back, strong through the core, gaze fixed and using the breath here. Untangling those arms and slowly untangling the legs. Without dropping, we bring the right knee back in, crossing the arms over the sole of the foot. We kick that foot out straight in front of us and release that right arm to the back of the room. Gaze follows or to the side, strong through that standing leg. Using the breath here now and holding steady. Bringing that right arm back to the sole of the foot, knee into the chest. Without dropping that leg, we release it, push back into warrior three, arms stretched out in front of us, neck relaxed. Strong through that left leg, dropping the right leg down into lunge. Arms come to the back of the lower spine and we arch here, pushing into that lunge. Releasing the hands down to the mat, legs straight. We bring our forehead to the left knee. And walking ourselves to the center of the mat, spreading the legs a little wider, we come to a wide leg forward fold. Continuing around to that right leg now, straightening the legs, bringing the forehead to the right knee. We bring the legs together into a brief forward fold. Inhale, arms up, look up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to take a couple of deep belly breaths here, breathing mindfully, feeling into the body. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhale, we forward fold. Inhale, we take a half lift. And exhale, we jump or step back, moving down through chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. And exhaling, we push back into downward facing dog. From here, we're going to come into a child's pose. You can do wide knees if that feels good for you. Sinking the glutes back towards the heels, arms outstretched and forehead melting towards the mat. Relaxing into this posture with every exhalation. From here, we're going to push back up into tabletop briefly, and we're going to thread that right arm in under the left, coming down onto our right shoulder, the side of our forehead resting on the mat. And if it feels good for you, you can bring that left arm across the back, tucking it in between the crease between your thigh and your abdomen. If you can't quite reach that far, you can just leave it resting on your lower back. I'm going to loosen out the shoulders here. Unwinding out of that, we'll move to the other side, threading that left arm in under the right, bringing the left shoulder down, left side of the head to the mat, and wrapping that right arm around, holding the space between the thigh and the abdomen, or resting on the lower back. Using the right arm to push ourselves up out of that posture now, we're going to come around to seated on our sit bones. Legs stretched out in front of us. Taking a minute to sit straight through the spine, we're going to inhale, raise the arms up overhead and forward fold. Going as far as you can to the edge of what's comfortable with your body. And breathing deeply here, focusing on any points of tension, elongating through the spine with every exhalation, allowing our body to melt further into the forward fold. We're going to very slowly move out of that forward fold now, coming back to a seated position. Lifting that right leg over the left leg, we're going to get ready for our spine twists. Lifting that left arm and placing the left elbow over the right knee, we're going to twist to the back of the room, gaze and body to the back of the room, keeping the chest lifted and your chest as close to your thigh as possible. Using your breath here, on every exhalation, you twist further into this posture. If you have your bind, you can go ahead and take it here. Releasing now, moving out of that to the opposite side, lifting the left leg over the right arm comes up now, right elbow to left knee, and on our exhalation we twist to the back of the room, gaze follows, keeping as close of a connection again between our chest and our thigh, keeping our chest lifted and melting further into this twist with every exhalation. If you took your bind on the other side, you can take it again on this side. We'll take a couple of breaths here. And releasing. Untwisting the legs. I'm just turning towards the camera so you can see what I'm doing here, but you can stay as you are. We're going to lift that right knee and stack it on the left. This is half happy cow face. And if your sit bones stay grounded, you can wrap that left leg around to the back of the room also. Lifting up the right arm, we're going to bring the right arm down to meet the left behind the back. If your hands don't fully meet, that's fine. It's something to work towards. Just try and see if you can get your fingertips to touch. If you're able to get your hands together and sit comfortably in this position, you can bring your forehead down towards the knee. If you can't, don't worry, again, that's something to work towards. This is the full posture here. Lifting up, untangling those hands, and very slowly untangling the legs. We're going to move to the opposite side. Left knee now stacked on top of right, sole of the foot to the back of the room. If you did both legs on the other side, give it a go on this side, wrapping that right leg around to the back of the room. Left arm comes up, tries to grab the right hand at the back of the body. Again, it's fine if they don't touch. Just try and hold in this position and get the fingertips maybe to touch. If you've got full hold of the hands and space in the back, you can bring the forehead down towards the knee. Try to keep the sit bones grounded, not letting one side lift too high, squaring those hips. Lifting up out of that now, unwrapping the hands and untangling the legs. And give those legs a shake. And coming to lying flat on our mat, body fully supported by the earth below us. We're going to take a Shavasana here. Breathing in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 6. Take an internal focus. We're going to take Shavasana for a couple of minutes. I'll mind the time and I'll come back to you when we're ready to start moving again. We're going to very slowly start to twist those wrists and ankles, left to right, right to left, just bringing some movement back into the body. You can bring your hands up overhead, getting a big stretch from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. Lifting up the legs now, we're going to come to lying on our side, moving very slowly, maybe taking a breath here. And in your own time, at your own pace, just find your way back to a seated position on the mat in the same way that we started our practice. So you can bring back in your pillows or your bolster, or your blocks. Just take a crossed leg, upright, seated position. We're going to take a couple of breaths here, just to feel into our bodies at the end of our practice. Bringing our hands to heart center, just to reconnect with that intention that we set at the start of our practice. Thanks for joining me today, for taking the time to come and practice on your mat for yourself, and I'll see you at the next class.